immovable monuments to ancient warriors. Ruins bound to the earliest Arthurian legends. Gelligaer Common in South Wales bears the weight of centuries, its story stretching deep into the Bronze Age.
Double murder. Stabbed 2 blokes in Penarth. Brutal it was, no mercy. What are we supposed to do? He doesn't speak a word of English and he's dressed as a bloody Roman soldier.
He's not dressed as a Roman soldier, he is a Roman soldier, and he's shouting in Latin.
Only word I could pick out was Gelligaer.
Gelligaer. There's a Roman fort out in Gelligaer, built around 75 AD.
In the village of Gelligaer, there are the remains of a Roman fort. The first camp was built between 74 and 78 AD and connected to the Roman fort. The Roman Road, where the Roman legions would march to battle the local tribes. The Sea Rees. If you follow the road north, you will find the sites of many Roman practice camps, where soldiers would practice building fortification. If you take a right towards Bargode, you'll find an interesting sight. These are the remains of an early 6th century chapel, founded by St. Gladys. Gladys' story is steeped in mystery and contradiction. In Llanrwst Vita Sancti Cardochi, her life is entwined with one of the earliest recorded mentions of the legendary King Arthur himself, blurring the line between history and myth, and casting doubt on how much of Gladys' story can truly be taken as fact. Like many saints of this shadowy age, her story was not written in her own time, but centuries later by priests who reshaped memory into legend, elevating human lives into something more extraordinary. The story begins to the north of here. In the 5th century kingdom of Brycheiniog, an ancient land ruled by the fierce Irish king, Brychan. From Brychan is where we get the modern name of the area, Brachan. To the southeast, Newport. Newport was once part of the kingdom of Gwynley, under the rule of King Gwynley. Gwynley was a bit of a pirate. He terrorized ships, crossing the Bristol Channel, and stole livestock from neighboring kingdoms. Until one day, his gaze fell upon a far greater prize. Gwynley led his men into Brycheiniog, driven by one ruthless ambition to claim Brychan's daughter, Gladys, and bind her to him or a forced marriage. Brychan's men pursued Gwynley and his army to here, Gelligaer Common, where a battle commenced. And who happened to be sat upon the hill overlooking the battle. Why, King Arthur. Arthur and his men decided to rush to Gwynley's side in the battle, forcing Brychan to flee back to Brycheiniog. In the aftermath of the battle, Arthur himself took a fancy to Gelligaer. He even considered kidnapping her. But in the end, she returned to Gwynley with Gwynley, and they actually had quite a happy marriage. With the guiding hand of their son, St. Godog, Gwynley was transformed in his later years, forsaking his former ways to live a life of devotion. In time, he would go on to found St. Willow's Cathedral in Newport. Gelligaer, however, chose a quieter, more solitary path, withdrawing to this lonely chapel on Gelligaer Common. And that is supposedly how the story of St. Gelligaer goes. If you follow the Roman road further north, you'll find another interesting monument from the same era. This is an early Christian monument dating to around the 6th to 7th century AD. Near its base, there was once an inscription that read Nia-Froich, which roughly translates to the stone of Nia-Froich. Who was Nia-Froich? Some say she was an ancient Irish warrior. The stone may also be related to the Romans, due to its proximity to the Roman road. Our next site is much, much older. At the top of the hill, where the Nia-Froich stone sits, is Carreg. Carreg is a burial mound, dating back 4,000 years. This Bronze Age cairn contained the cremated bones of the ancient spiritual inhabitants of this country, along with offerings such as beakers and some flint tools. The site may have been used by the Neolithic farmers and later settlers known as the Beaker folk. The Beaker folk were known for their beaker pottery that was often buried in their graves. They had lighter skin, eyes and hair compared to the Neolithic people who inhabited the island initially. There are actually many burial cairns surrounding Carreg. In fact, the entire common is almost a Bronze Age cemetery. On the western slope of the Carreg hill is the remains of a 12th to 13th century settlement called Dinos Nodfa. And for our last stop in this area, if you follow the road down to the village of Brychan, you'll come across a cattle grid. This was once the site of a pub called the Fox and Hound, where, a century ago, the clink of a cold pint drew locals together. I hope you enjoyed this dive into some local Welsh history.